Well then, I asked you lot the question and you gave me quite the response. I'm very surprised to have had nearly 1,500 likes and 1,500 comments. I did not think you guys were that active. The overall reaction was majorly positive, with about 10 in every 11 people reacting positively to it. Now I'd love to just say, let's get this started. However, there are some pretty major issues that I need to discuss. This is grid-based, so it's composed of plots which basically allow you to place any type of building on this plot to form a town which interacts with itself. So this is a plot and it's currently hosting coal. So let's say for argument's sake that there are 10 possible structures that can be placed on any plot of land. Okay, so these can be freely removed and built upon at any time for a cost. So we can remove that. I can build something completely new. We can remove that if we don't want it, and we can also build something entirely else as well, such as a house. So this is actually probably the biggest problem with the whole thing. Problem number one. Let's say, to be a little bit more realistic, that there are 100 possible building types, okay? So each plot has the possibility of hosting one of 100 building types. Now if you can count, there are 64 plots here, and 64 times 100 is 6,400. 6,400 unique possibilities, basically. That is a lot of possibilities. Now you might not notice this, but each plot, each structure, has 4 spawners, so 2 static spawners and 2 minecart spawners, and that's just in the idle state. There are even a lot more while they're actually running, so that's about 24,000 spawners, well more than that, 24,000 spawners just for the whole thing. Now that would create a hell of a lot of lag and is probably one of the biggest problems here. Problem number 2. Logic. So I don't want this to basically be the static structures that do things. I want there to be some interaction between things, so logic basically. So let's say we have a mining organisation that we place on a certain plot. Now what this organisation does is basically, if placed within the vicinity of ores, it mines them and it adds that to the town supply of ores. So with the town's supplies of ores very high, we have a blacksmith in the town which basically converts all those into weapons, which is then taken to a market which is sold for money. Now this sounds very cool, and there'd be a lot more to it than that. It's very ambitious, and the fact that it's very ambitious is the problem here. Basically, giving the player so much freedom of placement basically means that there's probably a limitless number of combinations of buildings being placed everywhere. So without severely limiting the player's placement of structures, it would basically be an impossible task to code all the logic of how each structure interacts with another structure in the world. Now it might be possible, I might be overlooking something and people might be tearing their hair out and going, no, it's really, really obvious. But I can't see a way on doing that in a simple way that wouldn't be ridiculously complicated to do. Now I know it was me who suggested this whole thing, but I think I'm trying to bite off more than I can chew. That combined with the fact that the idea is constantly evolving up until a point that it's not even the same idea that it was when it begun. Also, I don't really want to strip people of what's great about Minecraft, being able to build things, and obviously you're building things, but it's not what you're building, they're just predetermined structures, and I don't really like that. So, whilst I might take some things from this, I don't think I'll be doing this exact map in a series.